thereof. And the Grade 2 Sky Bet Club, Moscow Flower Novice Hurdle, run over 2 miles, 1 furlong. Fielding 6 runners, relieved of duties on the inside. Is contesting the early lead with Sky Lord, and between them is Kel Histoire, followed by Mr. Rango, Arctic Lane, and Salvator Mundi in between horses as they take their first flight. Where Mr. Rango slightly missed it. It's relieved of duties and Sky Lord together, followed after a break of a length, Kel Histoire, disputing the fourth, Arctic Lane and Salvator Mundi. Trailing the field early on is Mr. Rango. Turning in for flights 2 and 3. And moving on now is Sky Lord and Darragh O'Keefe building up a 3 lead over relieved of duties. Danny Gilligan just second from Kel Histoire, Mark Walsh. Then that one stable companion Salvator Mundi and Paul Townend, then Arctic Lane, Shane Fitzgerald, and at the back of the sextet is Mr. Rango and Danny Mullins as they make tracks to flight number 3. Sky Lord by 2.5 lengths to relieved of duties, sharing second with Kel Histoire. Then Salvator Mundi, who's shading the fourth from Arctic Lane, and 6 of the 6 is Mr. Rango. Away they go from that third flight. It's Sky Lord in front, with a slightly reduced advantage of 1.5 lengths over relieved of duties, and then Kel Histoire, who's followed by Salvator Mundi. Arctic Lane just 5th from Mr. Rango. Making the turn at the top of the course, continuing on to flight number 4. Sky Lord the leader by less than 2 lengths to relieved of duties, then a Kel Histoire. Salvator Mundi races in 4th, is 2 behind Arctic Lane and Mr. Rango. Continuing downhill to flight number 4. It's Sky Lord the leader, has gone on again by 2.5 to 3 lengths from relieved of duties. Disputing second with Kel Histoire, and then Salvator Mundi, and then Arctic Lane and Mr. Rango. A little more spaced out, soon to turn to head into the back straight. The Sky Bet Club Moscow Flower Grade 2 Novice Hurdle. Sky Lord was now moving into second place. Kel Histoire going a place in front of relieved of duties, then Salvator Mundi, Arctic Lane and Mr. Rango. Down the far side they go towards the halfway stage. Sky Lord the leader took it up early on, was followed by Kel Histoire relieved of duties, 2 lengths to Salvator Mundi, and then Arctic Lane and Mr. Rango the back marker. Spending some time on the end of that flight, Salvator Mundi, as they race back to the last flight in the back straight, 4 from the finish. Sky Lord over that from Kel Histoire, Novice in second, and then relieved of duties, tracked by Salvator Mundi. Arctic Lane last but 1, and the back marker continues to be Mr. Rango. Coming up to their point of departure, and the 5 furlong point with 3 flights left to jump. It's Sky Lord from Kel Histoire, who's back within 1/2 to 3 parts, then relieved of duties, followed closely by Salvator Mundi, and then Arctic Lane and Mr. Rango. Coming to this flight, Sky Lord, followed by Kel Histoire, and then relieved of duty, Salvator Mundi. Just dragged his way through that flight, and then Arctic Lane leaving behind Mr. Rango. 3 furlongs to race as they come towards the second last. And it is Sky Lord from Kel Histoire, followed by relieved of duties, Salvator Mundi, now being got after by Paul Townend to try and pick up as they run the home turn. 1 flight left, Sky Lord by 3 parts of a length to Kel Histoire. Right in behind them is relieved of duties, and coming to the outside is Salvator Mundi as they straighten at the 2. 1 flight left to jump. It is still Sky Lord with the advantage from Kel Histoire. Salvator Mundi on the outside into a challenging position and into the lead. Salvator Mundi has swept on by. Will jump the last in the lead. Salvator Mundi over from Sky Lord, then relieved of duties, and Kel Histoire on the run in. 150 yards to go, and it is Salvator Mundi has them covered. Steps up in the Moscow Flower, and he's a much anticipated return. Judged for the second and third, Kel Histoire, relieved of duties, Sky Lord in 4th.
Yes, Patrick Mullins joins me now after Salvator Mundi, of course, giving Willie Mullins his 11th win in the Sky Bet Club Moscow Flyer Novice Hurdle. Patrick lost to digest. He's done a lot wrong, but he still won. He's got an engine.
the engine is massive. I actually, after half mile, I thought this horse can't win on his first run in 6 months, and he's putting like that on heavy ground. And obviously, because he was keen and Paul didn't want to let him jump, he didn't jump. So he had every reason to get beaten, and still won.
And I thought even turning in, I says, he's in trouble here now. After 2 out, I thought he's in trouble. He's done really well to pick up off a slow gallop from where he was.
That's it. It looked to me like he took a blow after the second last, and you could see Paul got down, gave him a squeeze, and then let him fill up around the home bend and came on a run down to the last. Kept everything tight down to the last, and there should be a lot of improvement there.
He will have to improve dramatically on the jumping side of things.
Yes, but I think in a faster run race, being let jumpy, but I don't think it wasn't that he jumped badly. I think Paul couldn't let him jump, because if he let him jump, he was going to be running even keener and jumping his way to the front. So I wouldn't be worried about his jumping in a stronger run race.
It was messy. He was fresh and keen early, and couldn't use his jumping. Couldn't let him jump really. He ran into hurdles, but we know he can jump well. It was messy, and he quickened up well on dead ground down the stretch, yeah.
And Paul, obviously, he went a very sedate gallop for near enough the first mile of the race.
We did. We did.
Being kind now.
Yeah. Which didn't help either. So he did plenty wrong, but still won. He'll have to build on it, but I think he will.
Yeah, and jumping-wise, he's going to have to obviously sharpen up a lot jumping.
He can jump much better than that. If that was his first run, you'd say, Jesus, there's a bit to work on, but we've seen him enough times that he can jump, yeah.
And just down at the start, myself and Ruby were saying it looked like to be something in 9, and was it maybe the tongue tie was just flicking up at the ring bit, the elastic was a little bit long maybe, is that all that's what it was?
Maybe, he'd be kind of that way-ish anyway, so, yeah, I don't know, he won anyway, so that's the main thing today.
And from 3 out, were you starting to be a bit concerned?
I'd done it plenty, and the race was starting in the worst of the ground over there, and I just wasn't jumping even when I came alive. I was hoping, right, I'll leave him down now and he'll jump these well, and we didn't. We just got off on the wrong foot probably in that regards jumping. So no, I thought missing hurdles at the crucial time and still one was taken, yeah.
And obviously he's done well to pick up from a slow gallop. They'd nicked a couple of lengths off you off the bend.
They had done, and then the way the track is set up, we had to swing back in and things, and we're racing on older ground longer than we wanted because we have to get ahead of them, and yeah, it was messy our race, yeah.
And listening to you there, you keep going back to the ground. That seems to be key to this horse. He will want better ground.
He'll definitely handle it anyway, and I'd say if it's everything that goes with the better ground. I'd say better true run race on better ground.
And obviously jump better with a faster gallop.
Even wetter ground, he'd go
looser
through it better, yeah.
Paul was also keeping going back to the ground. He thinks that obviously ground is horrible ground out there, quite tacky, gluey ground as well, that he will jump better, stronger run race, and obviously on better ground.
Yeah, look, he wears a tongue strap, so the better the ground is going to help his breathing, and obviously when you're not as keen, you relax more, it's easier to breathe. So you hope that the Sprint Novices will be a strong run race. It isn't always, but I think there's every reason to think that there is a lot of improvement to come.
Cheltenham 9 weeks away. Could we see him Dublin Racing Festival beforehand, just considering the way he's jumped today, to get another run into him experience-wise?
We'll see how he came out. I mean, look, I think he's probably got a hard race today. He's been keen. It's heavy ground. I wouldn't be surprised if he went straight to Cheltenham. We can school him at home. We're not worried about his jumping. He's running around Toy. He's run around Cheltenham. He's had 2 runs here in Ireland. So we'll have to wait and see. But I wouldn't be surprised if he went straight to Cheltenham. Lecky
Watson, you must have been delighted with him. That was a really good performance. He's really after maturing mentally, hasn't he?
Yeah, look, he's always been a little bit headstrong, and I think fences have been the making of him. Fences make him relax, they make him concentrate. He wasn't great in tight today. Every time Paul asked him to jump, he did, but when Paul left him alone and he got into the bottom of them, he needs to sharpen up at that. He possibly might be better going the other direction. I thought maybe he jumped a little bit to his left. But definitely he seems to be a far superior chase, and he was a hurdler, and he should be one of the top novices this year, I think.
The Brown advisory, he just looks like that road all over him at the moment.
Yeah, I think the further the better, and like I said, we couldn't do that over hurdles because he was just too keen and too numb, but with more fences in a chase race, it just seems to settle him and relax him.
And one more to come, the horse in the name escapes me.
Cappy Pike, possibly, an unusual name. Yeah, look, we were disappointed he got beaten in Cork, but he got beaten by Skylord, who ran well there in the Moscow Flyer, the Skybed Moscow Flyer, and he ran a cracker, and He'll again should come on from that, and we'd be hoping that he'll be hard to beat here. For all that the Mulryan horse has decent form.
Good stuff. Well done as always. It's been a good day so far, and thanks for your time as always.
Okay, thanks so much, Kevin.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.